The microphone helps. Hello. Is the hair? No, I'm getting a haircut Sunday, so it's floof right now. Don't worry about it. Okay, Mark's not making noises. Hello, welcome, happy Thursday. I will thank you, Lucky. Do you go by Lucky or do you go by Paradox? Or Lucky Paradox, just let me know. But thank you for stopping in. Have a great stream yourself. But yeah, happy Thursday. It's very bright. Mark, fix the lights, please. Because you're the one that... What? Oh, okay. I see. Thank you. Anyway, hope everyone's had a lovely day, lovely week. We are today doing a viewer redeem. The viewer is here. Hi, viewer.
Felicitations, malfactors.
So he's gonna help actually cook the thing he redeemed, which is exciting. I tried to run with it and do like fancied up comfort food, but it isn't all that fancy. It just has a fancy name. So chicken cordon bleu, which is just rolled up chicken that's fried, not fancy but comforting, and then banana pudding bars, that's what. So another like classic homey dessert, but just in a slightly different form. So hopefully it'll turn out good. I'm gonna try to do like petit-four things with them, which I've never tried before. But yeah, it's always fun and exciting here. So welcome, grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get cooking. Oh, and of course, stream raiders. So first thing, I already have the oven on, but I need to get some garlic roasting if we want a sauce. And I have a knife somewhere. Knife. So to roast garlic, you just chop the top off. You throw away the top, not the whole bulb. And then you have your assistant wrap it in foil while you get some salt and olive oil out.
Yeah, you don't want me to take off the little exterior?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And some salt. Okay. And those are just going to roast away in the toaster oven while we do other stuff. And hopefully by the time we want to make sauce, it'll be ready.
Trying to get the coating evenly. It's like...
Okay. I'm also using a new kitchen thing. What? So I have this pan that, in theory, you can like switch up to be whatever size you want. You can make it to like make block shaped cakes. That's just going in the toaster oven on the top one. Hi Cat. Welcome in, Cat. Cat that walked by. So yeah, I've never had a cake pan that came with an instruction manual, but yeah, in theory you make like letter shaped cakes and things, which is fun. So probably more of an idea book than a instruction book, but I don't know. But first thing, we need to brown some butter. The butter's right in front of me. It's even on the camera, so if I can't find it, then I don't know what would be wrong with my eyes. Having an assistant means we can set him to stirring it on the stove so it doesn't burn and just browns slowly.
Medium heat or?
Yeah, medium.
Okay. Happy Mario Day, everyone.
Yes, it's Mario Day. Go get those Switch sales.
Well, Mario and Rabbids is from $60 to $10 right now, and it's almost tempting.
The original.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, not counting DLC, but like for $10, like, even though I saw someone play the game and I thought it was pretty cool. For $10, it's like it's very tempting.
Right? There are some of those. Like, there's some games that I've seen people play on Twitch a few times, and I've thought about getting them, but like they're expensive, and I'm like, I just watched someone play this, but when they go discounted deeply enough, then yeah. Like, I'm in no rush to play Elden Ring, because everyone's playing it, and I've seen everyone play it. And I've never played a Souls game before.
You died.
Yes. I have watched a lot of Souls games. I don't know if at this point I should just like play The Witcher instead or not. But again, I don't feel like shelling out. It's still like $60 most of the time. That game is so old now, even though it's still good. I don't know.
Well, CD Projekt Red has to make their money back after the Cyberpunk situation.
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, silly. Okay, what am I doing? I'm gonna start measuring the ingredients. Okay. Had a bag of almond flour somewhere. There it is. Which I'm still trying to get rid of. So I'm just gonna use the rest of this and then fill in what I don't need with plain flour. Okay. How you doing, CL? Welcome in. What are you doing tonight? Apparently we're just doing all almond flour because I had 2 cups of it. Plus a bit extra. But that's fine. And it makes a good trash bag. Since I can't reach my trash can right now. And of course, try to find the salt that we just put down 2 seconds ago. There it is. Oh, there's pudding frosting. I'm not making that. I'm making something else. I'm doing something else with it. Going a different direction.
Like putting frosting?
I'm gonna put frosting on it. I'm gonna do like little petit-four cakes and coat them in chocolate and then put like frosting on, just whipped cream on top, I think. But there should be like little cute squares. Fingers crossed, hopefully. I'm sure if I was on Bake Off, they would not like be the winner. Also because I haven't tested the recipe. It's the first time trying to make it, and I'm being a little bit lackadaisical with it. Lackadaisical, not lackadaisical, lackadaisical. Lax or lackadaisical. But yes, the better bakers on Bake Off were the ones that tested their recipes many times. Although when it got into the COVID seasons, like, some of them didn't have that option because they were all sequestered the whole time, so some people were making changes on the fly that they weren't able to really test since they weren't at home. Which probably was fun. Probably was exciting. And also terrifying. Let the butter cook for 4 to 5 minutes until the foam subsides and you have brown, nutty smelling butter. says the recipe.
Foam is starting to go down a little bit.
Oh, but I can smell it now. That's always nice.
I never heard of brown butter before, so.
Oh, you haven't brown butter before?
I think so.
Brown butter is really good in chocolate chip cookies. But yeah, you're just toasting the milk solids, which is what makes it brown. So you can't brown ghee or clarified butter. It's gotta have the milk solids in it. Yes!
Yeah, I've done brown sugar before, but not brown butter, so it's...
We also have brown sugar for this. Oh, I should measure the brown sugar. How much brown sugar do I need? 2 cups. 2 cups! That's so much sugar. It's alright though. Oh, whoops. I didn't update the menu. No! No, clear that! Delete it! Strike that! Reverse it! No! No! I should just... That's a song. What song is that? What musical is that from? It's from Wonka.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that actually on New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay. Okay. Edit. No, dang it. Edit. I think that's how you spell petit four. Yes, I am correct. Okay, great. I think it's good now. Nope, nope. Why did you? Crap. Did I do it right? Oh no, there is a U in there. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, thank you, husband. Okay, should be good now. It's still on cooldown from CL. Mark, delete the wrong menu, please.
The brownification is happening.
Ooh, brown. Awesome. Okay, perfect.
When
Turn
do
that
I-
off?
Okay.
And I took the photo of brown things. Oh yeah, don't time out Nightbot. Okay, bring that over here, and we will cool it down by whisking our brown sugar in. You can use the whisk.
Oh, I see it.
Yep. These are a third cup, so that's why there are 6 of them.
Is this gonna be the bottom layer or?
No, it's all going to be one layer. It's just going to be like a blondie, a banana blondie.
The only blondie I know is the music group, so I don't really.
A blondie is a brownie without chocolate.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna, because it's still warm, I don't want to put my eggs in yet, so I'm gonna put in the bananas next. So I've got some lovely baking bananas. These have been in the freezer for a couple of months. So they should be nice and soft and ready to whisk in. Yeah, they are quite soft.
This reminds me of the Matt TV skit of it was a parody of 30-minute meals with 3-minute meals, and
Oh no!
she was trying to do banana splits, but they came out that way, and the basic part of the skit was that everything that could go wrong did,
Of course.
and it's just seeing the actress as that character just kind of deal with all of it. It's
Who was playing Rachel Ray?
Krista Flanagan.
Ah, yeah.
So if anyone out there is interested, type in Matt TV 3-minute meals. There's Valentine's one. There's a tuna casserole one, and then there was one that they did in the later seasons, which isn't that great, but it was decent. But
I think the cooldown is the max I can do it in Nightbot, which is 5 minutes. So. What? No. Type the menu. It's because the brown butter. I think, are you in moderator mode? Oh, I think you can also just clear chat, but that's unnecessary. Okay, cool, good enough.
Okay. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if I needed to like break it down completely.
Nah. Being cavalier today, I'm just cracking the eggs right in. I just bought them, so they should not be bad. Okay. But in general, crack your eggs into a separate bowl before throwing them into your mixture. Oh. Yes. Classy comfort foods tonight with chicken cordon bleu, roasted broccoli, and banana pudding petit fours. See, things get to keep happening while I'm looking at the recipe, which is great. So it is going to be faster.
And that is
Vanilla.
oh, I can smell it. Yeah.
You, of course, don't want to put the vanilla right into the hot butter because when it heats up, then it starts breaking down and the flavor doesn't go as strong. So you want it in when it's cold. That's often a problem when you're making vanilla ice cream. Like if you can steep the vanilla if you're using like the pods in the cream and milk. And heat it up, and it's good because it's not like already denatured in alcohol. But if you're using just vanilla extract for your vanilla ice cream, I would make the whole custard base and add it at the end after it's chilled, or not necessarily after it's chilled, but after it comes off and is like off the stove. You don't want to cook it while the right when you put the vanilla in. Okay, sugar, eggs, vanilla, bananas, and then our dries.
And then we wet the dries.
Mm-hmm.
Or we dry the wet.
You make it moist. And then we hopefully have a good consistency. See, the reason I don't do my own vanilla extract is because vanilla beans are really expensive. So, when you can buy a giant container of you can get vanilla that is not it's pure vanilla, it's not imitation, at Costco, and it was, I mean, still expensive but less expensive than making your own, I would think. Like, I think this, it's a 16 ounce bottle, I think was like $20-ish. It lasts a long time because it's a big bottle. But yeah, there's been a lot more expensive places to get vanilla. Does this look, it's probably because it's the almond flour, but it does not look battery yet. So I'm going to add some regular flour too, just for structure.
Ooh, what kind of batter are we talking about? Like Duracell or Energizer?
Terrible. Okay.
My favorite thing is to make puns out of nothing, so if everyone in the chat needs to leave, I understand.
Okay. We're gonna move away from the whisk and just fold this in because I added some gluten in it. I don't want to make gluten-y batter. I'm just gonna fold this in real quick. Floop it everywhere. Okay. So it's no longer gluten-free, but I don't apologize. I did grease this pan already. I probably don't need to worry about getting every last bit.
I did the same thing too.
And then this can go in on the bottom tray. You open the...
Oh, yeah.
Although I didn't check to see if this
the clearing
would fit. Nah, not the clearance, but just the width of it, because it's a very long pan. But we were good. It all fit in, although I do need to see how long it cooks. 45 minutes. Okay. And it's gonna be it says 45 to 55, but it's gonna be the lower end into the cubes. I thought about it, but I did not know how well it would come out of the individual little cubes. So I poured it into the square and we'll cut it afterwards. But it should have nice little indentations, so there'll be nice clean lines on which to cut it. I will take a photo when I start the Stream Raiders. Yeah, haste, sure. Okay. Was the photo still on cooldown? Yeah, right? We went to a place in San Francisco that sold vanilla beans, like, directly. And, like, it must have been, like, 10 years ago or something that you could go and you could pick up a bunch for pretty cheap directly. And then when we went back a few years later, they had gone up to, like, something like $16 for one bean. It was very expensive. And I don't know if they've worked out the issues yet, but still pretty expensive. Buffing. I need to buff things. Buff. Okay. I don't, because people were breaking into, like, the farms and stealing the beans. So they were, like, black marketing them. Okay. That's in. So now we can move on to chicken. Okay. So these. I guess I should pat them dry first. Oh my goodness, this knife is so dull. It didn't even cut through. Okay. You grab a paper towel and pat those.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, those two. The weather also has been climate change. Climate change making our vanilla expensive. Just go all the way around. Or you can just toss in the
Oh, here.
No, not that one.
Oh.
That's compost. The almond flour bag.
Okay.
Fancy. That's not the trash. Okay. So we're gonna use the mallet. So I might turn off the mic for a minute while we mallet things. And this is one of the uses for cling wrap. I don't like to use plastic much, but when you're trying to avoid getting chicken splatter all over your kitchen, that's a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the mic while we pound chicken breasts flat. We're just gonna pound them into flatness. It's not actually that loud. I was anticipating loudness. He was asking me what the difference between the pointy side and the flat side is. The pointy side is more for tenderizing meat, which you need to do for, like, tougher things. So if you have, like, a inexpensive cut of steak, you're more likely to use the pointy side, I think. Don't look it up, because I'm probably wrong, but that's kind of how I think about it. I should get a different plate to put these on. It is! Oh, Kosi says hi.
Hello. The way I'm here, I will try to meme post my emotes in the chat when I can. I did it earlier.
Yeah, it is a little smacky smack. Like a little slap sound. Oh, weird. Oh, wait. Oh, because Nightbot's a moderator. Oh, I see. Okay. There's... Well...
How's that looking like?
Flatter. We need it flatter! That should probably
As
easier
flat
than
as our Earth. I'm just kidding. Like
He's getting kicked out now. You don't have to be jealous anymore, Kosi. You need some more space to work.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was kidding. I'm actually a physicist. Well, in theory, I am still working on the job part of that, but I would never say that for real. So if you have any astronomy-related questions, I may be able to answer them.
Astronomy, not astrology. Astrology is the pseudoscience. Probably shouldn't even call it a pseudoscience. It's that thing where people pretend that the stars are giving them excuses to act how they want to act.
I'm sorry I hate your Karma Capri Sun. It's just what we do, and it's like Mercury's and Gatorade, so you know.
Thank you, Kosi. It's good to see you. You'll have to visit one of these days. You are not too far away.
This little part right here is like wanting to... Oh, okay.
You can go pretty ham.
Okay, I didn't know how...
Yep, you can go. You can be
Okay.
aggressive. That's why it might be. That's
Okay.
why it might be.
Okay, so I was doing little lab taps.
Okay. Cool. We have flat chicken. And a garbage bag. Okay, so now we get to roll. I keep touching chicken before I'm ready to touch chicken. I keep having to wash my hands. Okay. Because I need to open ham. Another redeem for... redeem? No, that would get abused. That's why I don't... It's like why I don't have a redeem for hydrating, because I do it so much. And if the chat was forcing me to drink water, then I would be very hydrated. Okay. This is a weird photo, but I mean, okay. So we're gonna take a piece of ham, or a couple pieces of ham maybe. And cover our chimkin. You don't know how to work with your meat, Teo?
See, I had heard beating the meat, but I guess that's what they were referring to.
Right, exactly.
And it's very therapeutic.
And then, do we have enough? That one's smaller. Let me just do one on that one. Okay. And then cheese. I have some smoked cheddar. Traditionally, it's Swiss, but I mean, honestly, use whatever cheese you have. It should be something that melts, so hopefully this will melt. And then we just kind of touch the chicken again before getting out. There should be behind those spices toothpicks.
Oh, I see it right there.
Yep. So you roll it up, and then shove a toothpick through it.
We don't puncture. Oh, there we go.
You're good. Okay.
And the wood isn't edible, correct?
Correct. Do not eat the toothpick. The toothpick is just there to hold its shape until it's fried. It's really good. I guess I'm just going to use all the meat because I don't feel like washing my hands again between. And now that I've touched meat with raw chicken hands. This one's gonna take forever to cook because it's so big. That's alright though.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that one's offering resistance.
Pierce it. Pierce the chicken. Okay.
One more. Okay, we're good.
Although I do need some more cheese. I need to cut another. Or can you cut another piece of cheese over there? While I take care of this trash.
Hey chat, you should look up Granny Cream's hot butter ice cream on YouTube, trust me.
What are you telling me? What are you telling the viewers? Huh? Are you telling them to watch cursed videos?
No. I mean, I have plenty of those, but...
Are you telling them to watch uncursed videos?
Yeah. Sort of. Alright.
Hi, Robo! Okay.
Got the right length?
Yeah. Well, I will break it until it's... Yes, it is fried. It's breaded and fried. Chicken sometimes... Yes. As long, Teo, as you don't wash the chicken. Don't wash the chicken. Bonus cheese. I completely just shoved that toothpick through backwards.
Well, that takes strength. That is a good thing.
Okay. I'm gonna wash my hands again. Like a corn dog? No. It's we're breading it. We're not battering it. Corn dogs are battered generally. Which I was thinking about from last week. And I think that the mozzarella sticks would work better if they were battered and fried rather than breaded and fried. Because the flour didn't like to stick to the mozzarella, which meant the egg didn't stick all the way, which meant we had empty spots. It doesn't work, Teo. So bad. Thank you for the shout-outs, Robo. I appreciate it. Robo, mod, best mod. And yes, I'll absolutely make empanadas. I love empanadas. Because you can make savory empanadas and dessert empanadas. What'd you forget? Oh, no. No! Not you two! Bad. Bad CL. Okay. Bad Teo first and then bad CL. What am I doing? We need to make dredges. Okay. And then to open eggs. I wonder if two will be. We can have a third just in case.
Oh, looks like somebody redeemed something.
Yes. So use some space. And crack eggs. Crack eggs on a flat surface.
On a flat surface?
Yes, flat surface. Not the rim of the bowl.
Any specific reason for that, or?
Yes, because then you don't like get the if you crack it on an edge, then you can start getting egg shards out.
Ah, okay.
And getting egg shards into your thing more easily. And also sanitation. So you can wash your eggs, but oh no, but we do have screw top wine, which is in the freezer. I better take it out. Because I got wine for making the sauce afterwards, but it's also screw top. So, would you like some wine?
Chad, don't tell him, but I barely have wine, so I have no idea what wine is supposed to taste like. Tell me, someone help.
I didn't get you a cup because I wasn't sure what you said.
Oh, I rarely have it, so I don't know what it's supposed to like. I'm supposed to answer yes or no, because I don't really know much about the taste of wine. I've had it like a few times, like red one and a white one, but I.
Would you like a different beverage? So I'm over here with my wine and my water, and
I mean, I could try a little bit and just see how that goes, but I am a simple man. I do the simple beers as.
this is pretty light as wines go, so. It's a very springy wine. Other guest chefs. Wait. Okay, Robo is trying to bring the chaos again.
One class.
I want to say yes, but it's the same. It's the same caveat. You have to get them to actually participate. So he redeemed and then said he would come help cook. So you can redeem, but if it's not for yourself as guest chef, then you have to procure their agreement. But I'm happy to have guest chefs. I'm happy to have scheduling. Right. Although if you could get Ramsey in here, don't do it because that'd be terrible. That'd be a terrible experience. Oh, you can just zhuzh those up.
Where is 4? Thank you.
And I'll give a free sub to anyone who can spell zhuzh without looking it up in the next 10 seconds. 10, 9,
Spell it with the letter J.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope. Y'all wrong. You are close. You are very close, CL. It's ZHUZH. I love like there are some really good Yiddish words. That's one of them. Jush. So I'm just making some dredging for my chickens. Should also grab a should also make some space in the fridge because they need to chill before we fry them. Can you do this same thing with the breadcrumbs, please?
Yes. Sprinkle them on there, or?
No, in a different.
Okay.
So salt and pepper.
This one's already has some seasonings in it. I don't know if you want me to add more.
Oh no, that's perfect. But yes, salt and pepper still.
Okay.
It doesn't need other stuff. It's already seasoned.
Yeah, these from Smart and Final are pretty good. I've had some other ones where they're just like flavorless and it just sucks, but these are pretty good. Add some spices, so.
Oh. I completely got out and defrosted and peeled a piece of ginger that I was going to put in the banana pudding, and then I completely forgot to do it. Oh well. Wet hand, dry hand. Eat. 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 Terrible. Although, with two people, I can do the flour and the egg, and then he can do the bread.
You mentioned that long thing with the pepper thing, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's under the
okay.
dealie.
Oh, I thought it was attached to it.
Nope. I kind of want to get another. I'm gonna get another. I should wash it. Because as I'm handling it, I'm like seeing gaps in the
There we go.
closure that I kind of want to fix. Make seal tighter, seal better.
Reinforce.
Yes, thank you. You'd think I would know that word as a as an engineer.
I am so sorry.
Don't mind me.
So is it normal to use flour? Because usually when I make chicken like that's breaded, I just put the egg and then I just slap it in there. But I've seen a few people use flour. Is that the standard kind of?
It gives you a little bit of a thicker dredge. Hi, Eeyore. Welcome in. You have to hit the bonus. Yeah, once you start handling it, the toothpicks tell you if they are working or not.
Yes.
It's also hard to wet hand, dry hand if you need both hands to handle it.
Well, I gotta hand it to you for being so pragmatic.
What? What? Huh? What did I do?
Oh no, I made a hand pun.
Oh. Handmatic prag.
Well, because I said I gotta hand it to you.
Oh gosh, dang it. Okay, I'm just roll slow and not paying attention. How does the pretentious French accent? There is a menu command. I forgot to put it in. I am also terrible. I'm a pro streamer. I swear, I know what I'm doing. Yes. Exclamation point menu for the menu. Oh, Robo, is that a thing you can do to add that to my title? I believe you can. I would ask Mark, but he went outside to practice his putting. Oh, when you're done with that, you can put it in this. I really wish I had like just twice as much space. Oh no, we lost a cheese.
I put some more breadcrumbs, so I think I need to add a bit more salt and pepper.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no wet hand, dry hand. We need 2 hands for your meat. You just ate and you're hungry again. Well, hopefully this will inspire you for a meal tomorrow. Cordon Bleu. Yeah. I'm not good at accents. I wish I was good in an Irish accent. That's the only one I'm like really willing to try, since I do have an Irish background. Honestly, I just need to watch Lisa's stream more and I'll get it. And then, yeah, you can re-season for
Yeah.
now that you've...
Used up pretty much all of it.
Wash my hands today.
Funny enough, this is my first time on stream, like on Twitch ever. I've done test streams where I see if like my computer can capture stuff, but it's a small laptop, so I don't really get to do much.
There we go.
Oops, and I had a typo in there anyway. Where is it? Dang it. Oh no! Oh, it's too long. That's why. I can't put menu in there.
Just put men.
I only had 2 letters. 2 characters. There we go. Just barely. Just barely under the wire. Okay. Oh, and then going back to the earlier question, yeah, I wouldn't try to do a flour coating on something that wasn't already wet, too. So since the chicken is already naturally damp, you can do the flour coating. Because that's another reason to just do egg first, and then you can always do egg breadcrumbs, if you don't have a moist thing to start with.
Yeah.
Okay, should make a space in the fridge for this. It's almost full. Take this out of the fridge. Ah, no. it in?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So I assume that just needs to chill so the breading doesn't fall off when you drop it in the, No! Dang it. What? That... You can't just make a quote that out of context. That's silly.
It's Twitch.
Silly.
That's all they do.
Yeah, but just the one word out of a sentence? One word out of a sentence seems silly. Okay. That's...
Oh, I didn't know Nightbot could do quotes.
Oh, yeah.
I like the burger meat cookie one. That's
A burger is just a meat cookie. It's true. That one's a good one. Because I have some... There's some, not quotes so much, but there's some clips out there that are just not the greatest. I need to purge those and just use the better ones. Okay. So I guess just broccoli now. Butter. Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't read the whole recipe. But now I have. Okay, perfect. This is why I bought more stock. It's strange because you fry it to get a lovely brown crust on it, and then you braise it, which just kills the crust. So I don't know about this recipe. I mean, I'm gonna trust it. It should be fine. We should still have a nice crust on top. So I'll try to put the biggest side down first, so we have the most crust, and then flip it over, and then simmer it.
what is braising?
No, braising?
Yeah.
Braising is just cooking in in hot liquid, but not. It's gentler than boiling. So you're like simmering it
Okay.
in hot liquid. You can like butter braise. Like a lot of people will butter braise lobster. So you'll boil it for a minute so you can crack it and get the meat out, and then you'll put the meat back into some like simmering butter to butter braise it. That's so many dancing things. What is this dancing iguana?
That's
Perfect.
a little Plagona from one of my favorite channels, Desert Pete.
Okay, right. Broccoli. Because I've heard that broccoli is the traditional thing to serve with Cordon Bleu. Oh, we need stream raiders and we need squats. I think that's two redeems for squats that I need to do. Stream raiders. Where are even the bad guys? I don't know. Let's just haste everyone. Haste! Haste spell best spell. Look at those rogues go. It just makes the battle happen in like 20. Not even. That was very fast. Very fast. Okay. Did I even get any blesses in? Did I even get any assists? I did not get any assists. Okay, maybe I should get a Templar in there. Templar's also buff, I think. Okay. Perfect. Now, I have squats. So many squats. Oh, it's 3 squats. Oh my goodness, we have 30 squats. I owe 30 squats.
And I can do them with you in solidarity, so you don't.
It's up to you.
Well, you've already started. It's like awkward if I join in now. Okay, that's 10, so I'll start. I'm taller, so I have to go slower.
Extra bonus redeemed today. Get double your money's worth. There we go.
The most workout I do is GDR, and that actually does work out pretty good.
See, Fred covered the extra squats for me. Perfect. I still did 30. I think it's 4 total now, so maybe I'll do 10 more later. Timeout, Teo. Wait. Oh no! More clips. That's fine. As long as they're good clips, then you can clip whatever you want. Okay, back to this. Okay. Broccoli. I want to do broccoli in the,
Oh! I almost grabbed it.
It's not hot, but it's hot.
So it turned into
This one.
an inadvertent safety stream of what not to do.
Right? Well, that's working nicely. Okay, perfect.
It's just a 2nd degree burn. It's not that bad.
I don't want to start the big oven again. Enough broccoli? That's probably not broccoli. This claims it is 16 healthy servings. Okay. What?
Just drizzle over
Yep.
all of them, or?
All of it. And we need our healthy servings of broccoli because we're having so much stuff that is either full of butter or fried in butter. So we need those healthy servings.
Actually, when I do the breaded chicken, I usually just do broccoli with it because once I bought an air fryer, that changed everything.
Oh, you air fried it. We could air fry this. Everybody drop it. Everybody hit the flow.
That'd be a no-show violation.
If you just hit the floor? I didn't say drop to the floor. I said
Oh.
hit the floor. Hammer fist the floor. Okay. Oh, I didn't think about it before. You had Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, but we're making a French dish. I might have fucked the whole thing up.
Okay, this is our stand against colonialism. But yes, Chad, get an air fryer, it will change your life. Because, like, you would have thought that vegetables may not taste good, but, like, once you cook them in a certain way, you'll realize you've missed out on, like, greatness for years.
Did you have issues eating vegetables before this?
A little bit here and there. But it was just how it was prepared, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, well, last year I had, like, I was...
Don't boil your Brussels sprouts. It's bad. Don't boil very, very few vegetables. Honestly, like, I can't think of a vegetable that I would want to boil, except for, like, carrots, if I was going to make them into a puree with some potatoes. And, of course, I'm not counting potatoes because they're not vegetables. They're starchy tubers. Maybe just starchy vegetables. Don't boil non-starchy vegetables. No, because I would make a sweet potato puree the same way. But not really, because I started microwaving my potatoes because it's so fast and so easy. Okay. I guess we're just gonna air fry these then once the thing comes out. The bars. Perfect. So now I don't know what to do while we're waiting for the last things.
We can just sit here and be alone with our thoughts.
What? Did you want one? I opened the wine. No, I just had some wine because we have wine in the sauce. Or we... Pinot Grigio. All right, 10 more squats.
No, doing good.
That's not gonna fill 3 minutes though. I guess you like the power squat. Hold it, hold it, hold it, go. Good thing I didn't do legs today. Do a karate. Oh my goodness. What kind of karate do you want to learn? Do you want to learn a thing, or do you want me to show you a thing? Learn a simple thing, get shown a fancy-ish thing. Yes? Yes. Okay, let me grab a machete.
Oh.
I can show you one of the things I'm working on. It's a plastic machete. I know.
Oh, it doesn't show up. Oh, he doesn't have the extension. That's probably it.
Although my instructor has offered me the use of his like real but dulled machete. Okay. Can you fix that view?
Yes.
But I get to do it over my cord. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There we go.
So I'm working on a Filipino form. Just like Parties Form 5. I'm going to do it for my my blackout test coming up in the next few months. It uses a machete. Most of the forms use a rattan stick instead, but this one happens to use a machete because it's focused on cutting off body parts rather than breaking bones. It's a long form. I'm just going to do the main part for you. I cut it in half. So the main part is just a slash through, a retreating slash through as they come at you, and then you slash through and advance. Then there's someone coming from behind you, so you slash them twice, and then cut off an arm. So slash, cut, slice off an arm. And then you do a little flourish. So faster, it's and then you do it six times. And that's the form.
And there we go.
Cool. And you make a diamond is what you're doing. You go forward and then make a little diamond and then go back to the middle and then you turn around and you close the form and that's the thing. Oh, he popped by? Oh, I didn't even think about him in the background.
Well, that's what that emote is now. I see.
It's a stab. Slice. It's a knife. Okay. Let's see. This is cooked. We put away all of our toothpicks.
It is geometric.
I know, right? Oh yeah, we're cooked. Our toothpick is coming out without goop on it. So it's cooked and we need to set it aside to cool. I don't really have a place to cool things. Where to cool, where to cool, where to cool. Yeah, you know what to do. What? Move the Cheez-Its. Move the disciplinary pin. Lurk for reals. Thank you for lurking, Robo. Have fun with the wild people. Did you do a shout out for, if you can still hear, for Featherfall? Or Mark can do that. Hi, Sholva. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. I hope your day is going well. Right. Broccoli florets. Now let's turn on the air fry mode. 10 minutes maybe. I don't know. Some amount of time for air frying. Ready for the weekend? We were playing Cuphead. Are you good at Cuphead? I think I would be terrible at Cuphead. I'm pretty sure I'd be terrible.
The Netflix show is pretty good as well.
The Netflix show is cute, but it doesn't like have any bearing on like. I mean, it has all the characters, but it's not like they're running around fighting bosses. I guess kinda, since they're just, the whole point of Cuphead is to avoid everything, and they do their little stuffs, but they never shoot finger guns. So I don't know.
Yeah, probably for next season they left us on a cliffhanger, so.
Oh, we haven't finished yet, so.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Well, I mean, cliffhanger could mean anything, so.
I'd get beat the whole game? Yes, I would get beat. I agree. I mean, progress is good. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're turning on the stove now. And melting butter. Just say a quarter cup. Okay. I'm doing more than a quarter cup because Pauline was wrong about a lot of things, but she was not wrong about butter.
Do as she says. No, do as she does, not what she says. There. Yeah. That's the quote, I think.
We almost used this to flatten our chicken, but it was hitting the side of the counter because I have tile counters. So we did not use it. Fancy gas range. See, interestingly enough, I grew up as a kid with a just regular electric cooktop, and then whole life I'm like, I need gas. I need a gas range. And now we have a gas range. And now that we have a gas range, I'm like, I want an induction cooktop instead. So in the new house, it'd be induction. That is a perfect question, Majin. Yes. Just, yeah, show up anytime. It's a quick 18-hour drive for you or something. I've done that drive. I mean, depending on where. I think we went to the middle of the state. But yeah, I've done that drive before in college. No fun. Oh my goodness. No, because, I mean, everyone does that. Yeah, like, a lot of people, like, in other streams that I've seen have done that. No, like, the mods do it. I'm saying I could probably put on a setting that does it. Didn't know I needed to do that. So I didn't know. Yes, no, that's what my mom had in the house growing up, was like the glass top electric cooktop. Like, you don't know where the heat starts and finishes. It stays hot for so long. Yeah. See, that's the great thing about this. The fire's off, you know it's off. I mean, the grate is still hot, but at least you're not gonna... It cools down pretty quick. I don't have a tank top on today, I'm sorry. I do have a cooking guest, so he's over there tending the butter. But yes, we have the gas range. We still have the tile countertops. Which is unfortunate. Okay. How hot is this? Still pretty hot. I want to see if I can pull out some of these blocks. I'm trying to get pretty squares out of my pudding bar, my banana bars. So I want to pull these out. I have never used this. I did grease it. I've never used it before. Oh. 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 Look at that. They stuck together because a little bit seeped through, but not enough to like cause me a problem. Oh my goodness. That worked so much better than I could have even like hoped for. Ooh, and there's even a little seepage over here for tasting. Okay, so now if I can get this out and get it on a tray, put it in the fridge, and it'll cool down faster. Pull my chicken out.
Alright, this is all melted, so...
Okay. I'll get it sizzly. Okay. Should I use the square plate? Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's so square. Which is what I wanted. Square peg and square hole. Honestly, I could not tell you, Majin, because I was taking a stroll through my mom's cabinets, and I found it in a box, like its own box that she had never used, and I took it, and now I've used it. I took it years ago. Oh, here's the instruction manual. It's a Burwell's Educated Cake Pan. So, Burwell's. Come on, refocus. Anyway, Burvell's, sorry. Cursive. Burvelle. Make your own fantastic personalized cakes, gelatins, and other desserts using any combination of letters and numbers. Nothing else. Only letters and numbers. You certainly could not, like, say, make a penis cake. I mean, it's impossible. You couldn't do it.
Segment cakes could be pixelated, but...
Like a Minecraft hammer?
I was starting to brown. Is that what we want, or...?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Lower
Keeping
it
me on
just-
track.
Lower it just in case.
Can we fit them all? Yeah.
If I had $1, I'd be in debt.
What if you had $1 more than you have now?
I do.
Oh no.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Penny for your thoughts.
Are you gonna personalize them? Are you gonna put people's names on them? Your things that you're making. I know. Oh, yardage. Oh, he's making signs so he knows when they're 30 feet out. Yes. I think my mom has a nice butcher knife and like authentic wok that I kind of need to steal at some point. Which I can say right here very openly because my mom doesn't watch these. But honestly, Mom, why aren't you watching these? I showed her a furry drawing I did the other day and she said she liked it. So... Okay, I was gonna put this in the fridge. So chill out. Move this.
I'm curious how that will. Is that gelatin? So I'm curious how that would hold up.
Yeah. I guess if you just had a good enough tray and you flipped it over.
Yeah.
But then you'd get all the marks. So I don't know. I don't know how I'd make gelatin out of it though.
Yeah, because I have an idea for something that I...
Traits? So the reason I'm an earthbender is I feel like, one, I'm really sturdy. Makeshift point routine. So I feel like I'm sturdy and I feel comfortable on the ground. I've trained in jiu-jitsu and I'm comfortable there. So I'm just kind of in tune with like being grounded. So sturdy, kind of imperturbable. Like it takes a minute to rile me up. I like to think of like firebenders as more volatile. So if you're more emotional, you're probably more like a firebender. I'm over here quite amused that the cat is trying to open the back door. He's almost smart enough to do it. He could probably get the handle. I don't know if he could trigger the lock since it's a kind of that kind of a lock. It's not something he can like put his weight on and pull down. Oh my goodness. Mark, kitty cam. Grab a cat.
He looks a little perplexed.
He is.
Said that.
Well, the spoiler's right there. And then the air nomads were, I mean, they're flighty, they're nomads, they don't like to settle down. If you're like real bouncy, jittery, which I also kind of am, then maybe that's more of an air kind of trait. You put too much crap in the pan. Him trying to tell me what to do. Yeah, I'm not. It's probably like Harry Potter houses. I'm a hybrid bender. Yeah.
Hi.
And water's like go with the flow.
Look at
Meow.
me.
He's right there.
Meow. Rub his belly. Meow. Hi. Okay. You want to go outside?
Too bad. Thank you for the redeem sale. Oh, nice. We're getting there. We're getting browns. I'm gonna take a picture, CL, without prompting. Gasp! I remembered. Okay. What did I use this talk for before? Oh, I see. I see. To a warm platter. I need to turn the warming drawer on. Actually, that's an exciting thing about this oven, is it has a warming drawer.
Is that what the thing is at the bottom?
Yes.
I have that too, but I just assumed it was for storage.
Some of them are, but this one actually has warming feature.
Okay, I think ours would be one back home would be the same. I think.
Oh, there's already a plate in there. There's a plate in there from when we made waffles. I'm gonna use that plate for the chicken.
It's called being pragmatic.
Hydromatic. Emotionally intelligent, not necessarily emotional. Calm and collected, generally don't stress. Handle calmly. Yeah, I would say water. If you are a waterbender, I feel like the kind of training, the kind of martial artsy stuff that waterbenders would do would be very like a mix of like Tai Chi and also capoeira. I feel like capoeira is like a very martial form of water bending. It's very flowy, incorporates movement, dance.
I think they did in the show too.
I don't know if they did. I don't remember I remember them doing like the whole Tai Chi kind of feel. But I don't know if they did any capoeira because they were very much focusing on like Eastern disciplines.
That one episode where they like pretended to be, or Aang pretended to be a school kid. They had a dance, and I think I remember them doing something like that.
But that was in the Fire Nation.
Yeah, but
Oh.
they were they did that in there. But I don't know if it was just because they were dancing and they thought
Maybe.
to integrate that in there.
Maybe that's the Uncle Iroh thing, and that's the firebending influenced by waterbending, which is how he learned to redirect lightning.
It was a very good show.
Yeah, growing up, we had the glass cooktop. It was just the cooktop. The oven was separate, so we didn't like have a warming drawer area at all. So I didn't even have it until we had this oven. I actually really would like monetizing lightning as a bender in Republic City. Republic City? Was that what it's called? Yeah. That's such a cool concept. Although, how much energy does it take to create lightning? Like, how many calories would you have to intake to... See, I kind of liked it when bloodbending was only possible at the full moon. I don't know, people have their specialties and what they can do, but just training to become better at it rather than it being like a special power anymore, I wasn't the biggest fan of. Like, oh, I just trained so hard to be a good bloodbender. Even though the woman who discovered it was like, I could only do it when the moon was full and my powers were at their peak. Oh. Still, so I don't think Quake can bend metal or magma, but I think he can bend mud. So, like the episode where they had to back up the giant drill, he could have done that. I think he can bend mud as his specialty. She was weak? No! She almost killed the Avatar. Although, I mean, if you get a lucky hit in or you surprise someone, then...
I've been rotating them every so often.
Okay,
I wanted
cool.
to get two charged.
Yep. Probably rotate it back onto their, like, less pretty side.
This one?
Oh, or...
Like this side, you mean?
no, keep that side up, because that's
Yeah.
the, like, nice, flat presentation side. This side would be down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna still have a little bit of time.
Weaken the mind. Mentally. I mean, she did survive in conditions that could have, like, taken a lot out of other people. Although I suppose you could say that she did snap a little bit. Got my stock ready to go. My bone broth. Oh, it's even chicken bone broth. Convenient. We're not mixing meats. We're keeping... No. Are we? Yes, we're kosher. We're kosher. No, we're not kosher.
We have ham.
Because
in
there's
there.
ham in there.
Yeah.
I was like, we don't have milk and beef
Well, unless it's kosher
together.
ham, in that case, it would be.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not kosher ham. We were almost kosher there for a minute, and then Fred remembered the ham.
I don't know much about kosher. I was raised Catholic, so
I was raised nothing.
I envy you.
I know, it's so great. That's like one of the best things. I had no religious upbringing. Everything I know about religion is because I've had to enter it as an answer in a crossword. because it's stock. So it's cooked with the bones, and so you've got all that collagen in there. I think collagen's the word. Okay. Okay. Cover. Okay. It says reduce and cover, but I'm going to turn it up until it gets to a simmer temperature, and then reduce and cover. Although I don't even know if I want to cover it because I don't want to steam our nice, lovely, crispy breading. I have problems with this recipe. It's in... Okay, the recipe's from the New York Times. It's straight up the recipe from the New York Times cooking website, which is usually pretty solid. They do good research into the recipes, and it's got good reviews. So, I mean, maybe I trust it. Maybe I do what it says. But don't you hate that when you think you have a reputable source for a recipe, but your intuition is telling you to do something else? Hurdle. I don't know the hurdle. I've seen a dozen different variations. We do the dunglion. I have done the loodle. It was just, it was okay. If there was a gadel, maybe. I did like that they had different lengths of words potentially, which was fun. That it wasn't always a 5-letter. We did the Quordle, which was just doing 4 at the same time. Then you had 9 tries to get 4 words, and of course then they made the 16 and the 20 version or whatever. They just kept adding to it. There's the Werdle was kind of cool actually. You would put a place in the world and it would give you a direction and distance to where the actual destination was. That was close. Oh, Hurdle is guessing songs. It's Name That Tune. They just made Name That Tune. But in 1 second increments. Does it play 1 second? And then for your second guess, it plays the first and the second together? Because if I'm just hearing a different 1 second each time, that would be much harder. Because that was an old commercial, from my childhood. Can you name that tune in 3 notes? Okay, I might have to try the Hurdle. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up to look at later. Okay, so it's simmering. I guess we cover it. And it says cook it covered for 10 to 15 minutes before making your sauce. Okay, so now I'm gonna melt some chocolate.
Wait a minute, chocolate. What are you gonna melt it for?
To cover the bars.
Oh, okay. I thought you were mixing it with the chicken, and I was.
Yes, chocolate chicken. I'm making mole now.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. I prefer pipián myself, but it's similar, but it doesn't use chocolate. But
oh, I haven't made mole in a long time. I don't think I have any peanuts. I have peanut butter, but it's honey peanut butter, so that might not work so well. Still kind of warm. Looks like there's a tarragon over here. I am not following a recipe for the sauce. I'm just kind of playing with it and putting stuff in. I'm not going to put the ginger in, even though I kind of want to, because it's already sitting over here. Yeah, I mentioned the Dunglion. It's cute. Although I sometimes screw myself when I try to get the gem, because they added the gem for hard mode now. And if I try to get the gem, then sometimes I'll miss the puzzle. Because we're still learning the rules. We've worked out a few of the rules, we think, but... yeah, Clay found the Dunglion for us. He quite enjoys it. I think it's the only one he does now. He got bored with the Wordle. Pasta. We still gotta cook pasta. Don't have to cook the pasta yet. I think I'll drop the pasta when we start making the sauce. No, it actually doesn't take that long to make the sauce in theory. So. I know, I'm down to like a 2-day streak because I keep missing it. Because I was more concerned with getting the gem than getting the streak, which I think is the bad move. I think I should have used the not gem. Gone for not gem. Pasta is somewhere, right there.
Do you add salt to it before you add?
After it boils.
Really?
Yes.
I've always done it before.
So when it boils, then you add the salt, because if you add the salt before it boils, it takes longer for it to come to a boil.
Huh.
Because it's not a once it's a solution, it takes more energy per X unit of water to raise the temperature. Yes. So boil your water, then add your salt, then add your pasta. The what does? I mean, you can stir it. That's not really a. That's not really a limiting factor. Well, I also got some cream. For my sauce. So the sauce is just going to be the chicken drippings, cream wine, and this roasted garlic that we made.
Is this the wine? Is it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, it's easy.
Is this it right here?
Yes, if there's any in there. It's light and fresh. What are you doing with your waters in here? What? No, they're broccoli. Oh, the counter. I think these might be bad. Oh no, they're still fine. I thought they were getting moldy, but it's just herbs that are in the bread. I might need to add some butter to my chocolate so it'll melt better. Oh, Majin, if you're going to be our houseboy, you have to like doing yard work. You need to be the yard boy. We need a yard boy, not a houseboy. Hi, Zama. Welcome in. Hello. How are you doing? Yes. So he does a lot of cooking himself. We had this discussion. But it's nice being able to impart a little bit of tips and tricks.
Yeah, I mean,
to improve.
I just learned from what like my family and my mother have told me to do. So, like the subtle intricacies of proper cuisine making, I've not been familiar with yet. But Mexican food I can make really well, though.
He's got those recipes passed down. And see, cooking in my family didn't start until my mom's generation. Like, I don't think my mom's mom did much in the way of cooking. So all of the like recipe stuff that is from our family started with my mom, and we have still not gotten her to like write it down, because there are some like real classic things that she used to make that we all loved. Okay.
Yeah, cooking's been a thing in both my sides of my family for like ever. And like since most of them lived in like Mexico, like actually my mother's side, like she lived in the mountains. Like the only way you can get there is if you take like a 3-hour horse ride up and down the mountain cliff, like the mountainside and all that.
A 3-hour tour.
It was pretty fun. I almost fell off the horse once as we were going uphill, so I could have fallen and died.
Oh no! I took a horseback wine tour once. That was fun.
It was nice. It was, where they lived, it was like a nice little river that just ran through, and you would wash your clothes or take a bath in it. Good times. We ate deer that one time. It was good.
Ooh. What am I making? You can do a exclamation point menu to see what's on the menu tonight. I'm trying to make these nice and even. So they are. I'm doing my best to like do a. Oof. It's harder to cut them the second way when they're already cut through. See, I see the value of cooking them in their individual. In the like. In square containers, because it would be much easier, and I would have even browning. See, because now the outside ones are much browner on the edges. I am still impressed with the shape that we got. Yeah, he's going to learn all this stuff, and then he's going to be the cooking streamer. He's going to supplant me.
Oh, I thought about streaming. I have a laptop that can stream, but it's just if I move the charger cable even slightly, that it comes out, the whole computer dies. I replaced the battery once, but
that's my old laptop.
I don't know why it decided to do that again. But
flat surface schmurfus. Yes.
Oh, I think I know.
Yes, Seal. Okay. I mean, I could have transferred them. I think I want to put them on a wire rack on a cookie sheet.
square. I'm gonna look it up because that's actually interesting.
I know, it's cute.
Because I want to try out the squareness. If I can make square gelatin, that'd be interesting. I have an idea.
They're nice and they're well shaped, but they're not completely even. Which, see, the other thing about baking them in like the container in the in all the same like little already sized container is then you have to buy all those things. Although I think it would be interesting cooking it inside this. I don't know if it would work. What felt like a slur? I said, I hope it didn't sound like a slur. Schmurfus? I hope it's not. If that was offensive to anyone, I apologize. I'm sorry. But yes, I don't. The other downfall to trying to do them all the exact same is you have to own all of those baking vessels.
Do we rotate these at one point, or do
Nope.
we just leave them?
Just leave them.
Okay. We're getting a simmer here, so not long now.
Come on. Faster.
Anyway, put that on top of it and like let the
I actually have
a faux lid.
There's a real lid. I could have put the lid on so much earlier. See, that's why we have the guest in the kitchen, because he keeps you on track. He reminds you of putting lids on things to up the pressure and help it boil faster.
That's just my Mexican upbringing. Document every single step.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, CL is right. So the thing is, I mean, I guess I could just... There's not enough of the squares. This is all the squares it came with. There's just the 12. I mean, I wonder if I could just, like, put this onto a cookie tray and bake it, like... Just bake it like... that. I don't know how well it would contain the batter if I did it that way. Probably as long as I made a thick enough batter, like if I was making brownies, it would probably work. Or if I was just... Or if I did like a cookie base and then did something else on it. Right. Oh yeah, I could... You could just do like every other and use the voids as the other squares. That's an idea too. I don't know. I'm interested to use this more now that it's actually done its job. Although, oh, and it doesn't. It only has a little bit of an indent on the bottom where the indent in the pan is, which is interesting. Okay. Drop our pasta.
The entire thing?
Yeah. Let's toss. Ooh. Come on. Be nice. Don't lose your breading. See, this is kind of exactly what I was worried about, is that the breading would fall off. And it has a little bit, see, it's a little bit soggy on top. Has the steam. I was right. Well. Ooh, a lattice. Oh, I can. That'd be an interesting way to make like an entire cake that was like alternating squares of different colors. I could put the batter in them and then pull the things before I baked it and have like a checkerboard cake that way. I'm gonna do with my. That'd be interesting. Oh, I let it get too cold. And I think I actually need to put some more butter in this for it to get runny enough for me. I mean, yeah, we have an enclosed backyard, so you can do all the backyard yard work in the underwear. That's fine. It's the New York Times recipe. Okay. Here's my lovely roasted garlic that I should probably not hold over the banana squares. Which just squeezes out now. And of course, this roasted garlic is lovely just to like smush on toast. Or make garlic bread, like with this method. It's real good. Okay. I'm also going to throw a little bit of cream in here. Add some of this wine that we've been drinking. And just let that come up to a simmer. Probably needs a little salt. Oh, no, throw in that tarragon that I chopped up earlier. So why not? Tarragon's nice and French. Right? Isn't it weird that it was covered? It's odd. I mean, I said it, so we can't blame me. Like I followed the recipe, because I always try to follow the recipe the first time I make something, mostly, at least, ish. And then adjust it from there. Because I think I would make this again. I think it's gonna be good, but I called it for the getting the breading soggy. And I keep forgetting about my chocolate over here. No? There we go. Of course, now I just gotta hold this with a towel, because it's hot. And I'm just gonna pour it over and let it fall down the sides. If I was being real fancy, I would let it like drip down and cover the entire thing, but it also might just be too much chocolate for this. Speaking of following a recipe the first time, I did not at all follow the recipe for this. I did for the bar itself, but I'm departing it for the finish. Because if you coat the whole thing in chocolate, if I did the sides too, I would need a runnier chocolate. But if I did the sides too, then you wouldn't be able to tell that I had cut it. Like, because the sides would be covered in chocolate and you couldn't see where the browner bits were from the sides that were touching the edge of the pan. So, that's one reason that I would maybe want to coat the entire thing. And at that point, I would probably freeze these squares and then make a whole big pot of chocolate and just dip them in. Because that would be... Or just create a whole big pot of chocolate that was runnier than this and just pour it over instead of trying to... I'm using a spoon because I did not make any extra. I think I'm still going to be a little bit short. But still. Yes, there are definitely adjustments I would make if I was trying to make them all look exactly the same. But that's also why my cooking show is called It's Good Enough. Because it'll taste lovely. Even though it might not be exactly the most professional, pretty looking thing. Yeah, and I'm just short of being able to do the last one. I could probably like harvest some from some of the others to get the last one, but I don't know. I'll just leave one plain in case someone happens to want a plain one. I don't know. I would say my mom, but no, I'll harvest some. It's not quite hardened yet. We'll get a thin coating. I was about to say my mom, if I gave some to her, she might like it without the frosting, but it's not frosting, it's just melted chocolate, and she does like chocolate. If it was chocolate frosting, she would like it without because it'd probably be too sweet for her. But this is, again, just chocolate with a little bit of butter in it to help it melt down and get shiny. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I will end you, CL. CL says this because he knows my feelings on cake drips. You good? You cooked?
One more bit, I think.
sauce a little bit.
What is that?
Cornstarch.
Oh.
But I'm going to bring it to a boil since I have the cornstarch, so I can cook the rawness out. I'm basically just making a pan gravy to get all those lovely bits of stuff. Mudge loves your jacket.
Oh, thank you. I got it in LA. I have like 3 more of these. I have a problem. Help me.
We can see that hand. We just see Clay reaching over and stealing one of the bars. It's not done yet. There's supposed to be whipped cream on it. It's still in his mouth. You could have at least stolen the one that didn't quite get enough frosting on it. But it's about that time. I need to start finding someone to raid because we are about to plate up dinner. I don't know. Who's on? I could raid Lucky Paradox, who was in here earlier. I could raid Avalanche. Did I raid Avalanche the other day? I don't think I did. It's Avalanche's birthday. What? Did I? It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna... Well, I gotta plate up before I actually do it. Okay. Pasta's done.
Yeah.
Let's drain it.
Yeah, that may be a little hot.
There's my plate. Okay. There's the pasta. Gonna get some of this sauce slash gravy. This is the sauce that it said to make for putting over the chicken, but I'm using it as my pasta sauce instead. We've got our air fried broccoli. And there we go. We got our lovely chicken cordon bleu that we still need to pull our toothpicks out of, but it's fine. Well, we know they're there. Air fried broccoli, our pasta with our pan gravy. And that is dinner. We're gonna plate up. Thank you all so much. Oh, dang it. Why didn't it work?
Technical difficulties.
Thank you, Robo. It smells good. Oh. Avalanche. There we go. Perfect. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Fred, for hanging out and helping me cook today.
Of course.
And for the redeem, of course. Thank you for the redeem for next time, Teo. Thank you for all the The Scott redeems, I needed them to burn off this thing because there's so much butter. It looks really delicious. I'm excited. We're going to sit to dinner. Please go and show some love to Frozen King Avalanche. It is his birthday in 3 days. And yeah, show him all the love. He deserves it. I will see you next time for some more video games, probably this weekend. Until then, have a great Friday, a great rest of your week. Bye.
Wait, hello.
This is concerning.
Oh my gosh. Raiders, hello. Fuck with Raiders.
I probably shouldn't be healing you right now because you're just gonna. Like, what the heck?